Good afternoon. Friday, August 29th. Last Friday in August, just a few more days, we're in September. So another very beautiful day. Pleasant week, pleasant forecast coming up. Much different flavor of the season than what we've been accustomed to previously. A lot of rain earlier in the season has now focused on drought almost. I mean, I'm sure we're not too far from being quote unquote drought. There's no rain I really see in the forecast, which is fine with the forecast. Temperatures are nice and low and beautiful for growing turf and for keeping a pristine golf course and perfect for playing golf. So as we approach club championship, the course is pretty dialed in. You know, with the cooler temperatures, zoysia has stopped its growth for the most part. I mean, it's amazing. It's 100 and above, zoysia is going crazy. You get in these 80s, especially with these lows down in the 50s. Zoysia is just kind of going into creeping and crawling mode. So instead of mowing zoysia tees, fairways, collars 3 times a week, we're down to 2 times a week. They're still crisp. They're still playing great. Obviously the color tells the story. They're more of a yellow green as opposed to the dark green. A little bit of that is the dry. A little bit also is we sprayed a Bermuda suppression application on fairways and some tees. Haven't managed to get to the collars yet, but so that creates a little bit of yellowing. Bermuda suppression should be at its max at the 2-week spot, which will be sometime next week. So you'll see Bermuda kind of in the orangish color, and that'll be the only time we'll do that this season. But otherwise, greens are great. Everything's really good. Greens are rolling well. I think they're in the speeds that I want to keep them. I don't want to get them overly too fast. We definitely are not at summer speed. You know, I kind of call 9 a summer speed. We're easily in that 10 area. Might be bouncing around at 9 3/4 one day. Might be 10 one day, might be 9 1/2, might be 10 1/4, but we're bouncing around in those higher speeds that I think are about perfect for these greens. You know, 10 1/2 to 11 start to get really tricky, and I try not to approach that as much as we did in the past. I think with the large membership we have now and the very broad range of skill levels that you know, I think 9 1/2, 10 is right in the sweet spot. So that's kind of it. We've done some tree trimming, you know, limit of some trees, limit them up a little bit. A lot of watering, you know, greens, you know, the damage has already been done. The roots are short, so ball marks are kind of big. You know, we can't quite get them to I keep looking over my shoulder to see when these guys are coming off 10 green. You know, firmness wise, we can't quite just make them rock hard right now. There's too much golf for us to get around and do hand watering in the afternoon. So we're a few percentages over, and at any time we shut the water off for one night and we'll be into that really firm area. So we're right there. Like I said, I don't want to go backwards getting close to club champ. So we're going to keep them where they're a little bit receptive, if you will. And then as club champ gets closer, we'll dial them in, and you know, they'll be a little firmer. There'll be a true test of golf, true tournament conditions that would be suitable for professionals. So it should be a real treat as long as the forecast stays in our favor. You know, it should be a real treat for club champ. But come out and practice. The conditions are going to be very similar from, like I said last week, from last week all the way up to club champ. No excuses. If you don't practice, then you don't know what the conditions are. So looking forward to it. As always, have a great weekend, Labor Day weekend. Enjoy the golf course. Enjoy the last weekend of the pool. And we'll see you out here next week. So thanks. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.